Well, I think we're all pretty excited that this news is happening. The question is, what exactly is happening? What's going on? We finally got a little bit more clarity as far as the new season for Apex Legends, Season 23, and we know some good news. But I also have a theory of some potential bad news. So let's start it off with this. The good news, as you've seen in the title, that Ranked is getting new matchmaking updates. That's big because I think matchmaking, besides the cheater problem, is probably the biggest gripe and complaint in the entire state of the game, except most of it is skill-based matchmaking, which lines up more with public matches, not necessarily ranked. But I think a lot of people, I have read comments, do complain a little bit about ranked matchmaking. The question is, how can you really fix this? Because a big problem, yes, is that players don't always have a team to play with. And on top of that, you don't want to go up against a 3-stack Apex Predator team when you're only in Platinum 1 or Diamond 4. It's a big difference because it's not just about the ranks, it's also about the party size. For instance, I think a 3-stack Diamond 2 team is probably equivalent to a solo queue Master team or solo queue Apex Predator who's playing with 2 other Diamond players and there's no comms at all. So you can make a fair argument that it's not all about ranked, and matchmaking is quite frankly extremely important when it comes to rank. Well, according to Oz, Season 23 changes include some of the following. There is going to be something changed about ranked matchmaking. The weird thing is that we don't know exactly what, but I do have my theories. Over the past couple of years, there's been a lot of conversation, mostly about party sizes and whether or not you can play with a certain member who's a certain rank. And a lot of people have called for maybe rank to include solo queue matchmaking only. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is a team-based game. It would make no sense to not allow teams to party up in ranked, and that's probably not the direction that they're going. But I do want to offer it as a theory because another team-based game, which is a hero style shooter game, is known as Deadlock, and they're also doing solo queue only for ranked matchmaking. Now, I actually think that the solo queue may be a temporary thing. They may allow you to team up with some people later on, but that's been their starting ground for ranked, and I honestly don't think it's a bad idea. Now, overall, I'm not saying it would be the ideal scenario, but it might be the ideal solution, and that is because the problem of having teammates that always use their mic and you can always be in touch with, I don't think that's really ever going to fix itself. The only other way to fix that is to force everyone to be solo queue. Now, once again, not saying that that's where it's going, but we are aware that ranked matchmaking will be changed, and will this be one of the ways that they do that? Another option is, of course, the obvious. They may change what rank gets into a lobby with what rank. One of the biggest problems we've had for a while is that Diamond players will get into lobbies with Apex Predators, and I know that doesn't make sense, but the player base hasn't really been sustainable or supportive of going anything crazier than that. So while you may think that Masters and Apex Predators should be in the lobby with only Apex Predators and fellow Masters, we really don't have the player base to support that unless you change one other thing about matchmaking, and that is forcing console players to play in PC lobbies. I feel like it's a pretty fair statement to make at this point in the game, considering consoles now support 120 FPS and they also are matching their aim assist with PC values. It's basically the same. Only problem is that console players would probably have to deal with more cheaters, and well, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where you just say, well, welcome to the family. I know no console player wants to hear that or have that forced down their throat, but it's also not like the new gen consoles that support 120 FPS came out last week. They came out 4 years ago. So maybe Apex is at the point of their life where they say, hey, you should have one of these by now, and we're about to start merging all these lobbies together. Not sure, I'm just saying it's a theory. Now, there's also an update regarding the trailer. You guys know that the new season is supposed to come out this week, and we've not seen any trailer, just a couple little odd and end leaks. But what's going on with this trailer, and why have they delayed it so much? Well, we now know a little bit more as Apex Legends confirms the gameplay trailer for the new season from the Rift will release Tuesday at 8 a.m. PST. This is only 3 hours before the game is supposed to actually have the update itself. So iLoot Games says that sources shared with him, they're doing this because of the details about the new season. They don't want it released until right before. That kind of worries me a bit. The reason is because we know what happens normally when they release information early. Fans get a hold of it, they start forming opinions, and that is a fair point to make, right? You don't want bad opinions or bad light shed on it before you actually get to experience it. I understand. However, before you say that you're totally on that side of the fence, also consider that the Battle Pass changes almost took place last season, and we realized how much of a ripoff it was and how bad of a system it was. We had the opportunity to to call them out. They had the opportunity to change it, and things felt a little better. And now with this new format, it gives them the opportunity to do good and bad, right? If it is good information, if it's just like they don't want balanced information getting out there, they don't want you to make assumptions about new legends, I get that, right? Let's play the game first and see how it plays out. But if it's about marketing or advertising or something to, more microtransactions, I'm not a fan of this because we don't know the direction that they're going to take this. What if they do decide to implement more microtransactions or more battle pass issues, and they just want it to at least be in the game for at least half a split before they can start acknowledging the players' complaints about it? You see, because this season they had all the time in the world to make the actual changes before the season dropped. But imagine how much more money they'll make if they at least get to have those bad battle pass changes in for a month and a half before they can come out and say, oh, we hear your complaints and we're going to make the changes. Oh, W communication respawn. But yeah, we definitely got the bag that first month and a half. So who knows what direction they're going to go from this, but it is important to know that November 5th, 8 a.m. Pacific time, we will be able to watch that gameplay trailer. On one hand, it's a little bit hype because we know a little bit less, and I guess we're all on the edge of our seat waiting to see what happens. And on the other hand, people like Roddy are saying it just looks like you guys have given up. This is the least hype season launch I've ever seen. So who knows what's going to happen? Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside the world of Apex Legends news, drama, and stories. And until the next time, we'll see you all later.